I want to call this Education Committee meeting to order. You have a set of minutes before you, if you will please read over. And I need somebody to make a motion and a second.
Make a motion, we approve the minutes as printed.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Lauren and Chad, did they?
No, that's not it.
They don't count.
Can Lauren and Chad hear us during this meeting? Okay, he says that it.
They are? Okay. I'd like to turn the meeting over to Dr. Wright.
Okay, and I think I gave everyone a copy as far as the budget amendment that our board approved this last Monday night. Really, it's just a simple transfer of funds just to make sure that we've got things covered. At the top, you'll see the we reclassified safety grant payments to STARS, and STARS is a sort of a third-party contractor that we use for counseling service, crisis management with our kids, and we've used them for years and couldn't make it without them. And then you'll see that where that transfer from the safety grant over to cover our STARS counseling piece.
What do they actually do, the STARS?
That's what I said. They are.
Council, right?
Well, they do crisis management for us as well, children that might have an emotional breakdown, John,
Is
or
that throughout the system or?
throughout the system.
Okay.
Primarily middle and high schools, though, but we're now having to get down to the younger children. But right now, their focus is middle and high school. They go well beyond anything that we can provide in a school, and they'll even intervene with some mobile crisis units when kids have to be transported.
Is that a particular amount per year
We've got sort of an offset, but yes, it fluctuates because we've added schools instead of having to try to double up. So,
Mr. Gentry, if I'm not mistaken, STARS has been in existence for
at least a
pretty much ever
decade.
since I've been a
Oh, yeah, I
commissioner.
understand it's there, but I'm just wondering,
And the other thing which John, you've heard me talk about this too, we're seeing some real, and we can blame it on COVID or whatever we want to blame it on, but we've got some youngsters that are in some real need.
right.
And so they are a benefit that we couldn't do it without them.
Oh, I don't have a problem, I just.
Yeah, I understand. But that was a good question because, again, we just go through it. And then to cover the STARS contract that was not covered by IDEA, which is that special ed, or, again, the safety grant. So this is the bridge amount to cover what we did not anticipate. You also have, again, some movement there as far as supervisor and the hybrid plan compared to the legacy plan. For those of you that don't know, in 2014, TCRS, which is the state retirement plan, went over to a hybrid plan. It's not like the old legacy plan, which was a good, and it is a great retirement system, but now you have, where anyone came in after 2014, that they make a decision as far as how they want to invest their retirement money. So you'll see that difference there. And then if you look under the principal on the bonds and the interest on the bonds, that was an adjustment. Aaron Maynard gave us some information as far as an update that we didn't have those figures before, and then that corrects that as far as that update. And then the one that, while you had a new sheet, because you had one originally from December the 4th, this one was from the 8th. If you'll look under to cover maintenance and materials through June the 30th, we had to make a $100,000 transfer just to cover, to get them through to the end of the year. They're doing a lot more than you would normally anticipate by this time of year, including looking at sanitizing buildings, coming in and having to do a lot of work that, again, beyond just sanitizing. For example, the week of Thanksgiving, when we closed down for the entire week, they were in the buildings doing a deep cleaning, and the materials that we're using are not quite covered by some of the state money that's been delivered. So with that, asking that you'll approve the transfer of money to cover the items of the safety grant to STARS, looking at the hybrid plan. Oh, and also you see a piece over there on the cyber coverage for liability purposes. But the big thing is moving that maintenance money to cover them till the end of the year.
I just want to make sure that everybody on the committee realizes that this is not any new money. This is merely transfer from within their own budget. So
That's
they're not
exactly
asking
right.
for us for anything extra. It's something they already have.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Same like sign.
Can I ask you a couple questions before you go? Did I see properly that all our schools are now going to remote learning starting this coming Monday? Now,
180 teacher absences today, 22 of those absences not filled by subs. And looking as we're projecting in the quarantine numbers, we can't cover classes now.
are they all COVID related? They're all in the status of our tornado damaged schools?
And the status being we're into a sort of an impasse with the insurance company. We're working through that. In fact, Mr. Jennings was part of the meeting that we had, I've lost time. Right?
Monday morning.
Thank you.
Now, is the insurance a problem the way we had it written, or is it just,
It's a problem as far as.
as
what's
far as
it- is it a
negotiating?
build or a replacement.
That's what I mean. Now, the replacement,
We have replacement insurance.
I understand that because, you know, that was a long time ago, I find that out. But when you say replace, you can only replace what you have, right? Not what you would rather have.
No, as far as when you look at, the thing is that the difference would be as far as the difference in codes, what it would take to rebuild what we had. I think there's 1,000 square foot difference as far as what we say that we need and what we lost. But the big thing right now is just getting through as far as what they see needs to be covered and replaced.
Now, I'm not an expert, but I understand from people that I do know, when you have replacement, if the codes have changed, and maybe Mr. Jennings can tell us, that they have to bring it up to the codes. Is that correct?
That's correct, but this particular insurance policy has a $5 million limit to that.
Ah, okay.
So we are, I don't want to give too much away, Mr. Johnson, not that I don't want to tell you.
Yeah.
It's, we're.
You're this far away.
There's a bridge there.
We've got to bridge it.
We gotta bridge it, and another factor is FEMA's gonna kick in some money.
Okay.
But they're not gonna cover the entire amount of the difference between what insurance thinks they ought to pay and what we think they ought to pay.
What was
Okay.
it, 75, 25?
75, 25 at best.
Now, do we go to court maybe and do better, or do we
Well,
get
we
a,
may have to. I'm
or go
trying
to
avoid-
maybe some kind of mediator? Is that possible?
I'm trying to avoid that, but they may be pushing us. I talked to one of the main guys in Connecticut Tuesday afternoon, after he heard the offer that I suggested to the board. And I thought we were making some progress. He said, I'm willing to get in the car and come down there and meet with y'all. And I said, let's do it. He said, well, I'll come down and spend about 2 hours explaining to you why we think it's such. I said, no. I know what the difference is. I need to know if you're bringing more money.
Well, I get questions all the time from, in my
We all do.
area.
I mean, it's every day, John.
Yeah, I know, and I'm sure you do the same thing. So I just want to know the latest information so I can,
And think of how.
transparency is everything,
Well, it handicaps us as well because we have 1,700 kids we need to replace.
right?
You know, and so it's not only a hardship, it's
know it.
not good. for
Which
kids,
one?
as far as how we're doubling up right now.
And how long do you anticipate being totally out of school? 10 days, 15?
But for the remote learning,
Yes,
well, next week, and then on the 18th would have been the last day anyway before going into the holidays.
okay, then after
Then
that,
we come back January the 5th,
okay.
which was the normal date coming back on the calendar.
Now, do the schools have any priority on the vaccination? Because the vaccination today was approved by the advisory board of the FDA.
Well, what they're doing is they're talking about including teachers on that essential
That's what I mean.
piece,
Are the-
but there's already a movement among teachers that they are not going to get the vaccine. So we'll see. I'll line up first.
Are there any other
I
questions?
mean, they don't want to get it, or they won't get it?
They're just saying they don't have enough information right now because it was put out there on behalf of teachers. But we don't have information right now as far as if they're saying and using educators as being part of that front line. We'll see when it comes.
I know in England and Canada, they're receiving vaccination.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Hey, you're in charge. All in favor?
Oh, all in favor, I'm sorry.
Aye.
All opposed, same like sign.